Okay, sir.
Okay. Today I'll post the marks.
Corrections completed, sir.
Election completed, sir.
Yeah, in to open and check every paper, and some of you sent properly. Okay, you'll be those who didn't send properly. And means screenshots were not that much good.
Sir, you will keep marks in app or group, sir?
App only. I'll install, reinstall, and see.
Sir, in app, we can't see, sir.
After posting, you can see.
No, sir.
Sir,
Yesterday maths also posted, sir. But
Yesterday
we
max posted, sir, but we didn't see.
All together, they will show you, man. All together, they will be the marks. Yes, Prithvi Bhargav, read the question. Can you read the question? Yeah. Can you see?
Yes, sir. Yeah, okay, sir. Now it's okay. Can one become a scientist, an economist, a historian? Does it simply involve reading many books on the subject? Does it involve observing, thinking, and doing experiments? Answer. Science involves experiments, analysis, hyp- hypothesis, and conclusions. By simply reading, we can just get facts but cannot get the reasons behind a particular result. Many diseases which were thought to be incurable in the past have been overcome by means of scientists' inventions and discoveries. Subjects like history and or economics may not be regarded as science in vague terms. But if we go deep in the subjects, we find that economics is a subject of human behavior and paradoxes. Either it is observing of human behavior or historical buildings. It is the experiment which enables us to form scientific theory.
Yeah, whatever you understood from this question and answers, explain the question first, what is asking, then give an answer.
Sir, here in this question, the yes, sir. Is my voice is audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. In this question,
Carry.
he asked that how, yes, sir. Here in this question, he asked that how one can become a scientist or a economist or a historian. And he also asked that simply by reading books, we can get, or simply by reading books or thinking about them, can become a scientist or economist or historian. He asked in this question. And the answer explains that science will be involved in many facts and experiments. If we get involved in that, so that we can if we read or just if we think about it, we just get some of the part of it but not the particular point. If we get involved in it and if we uh, do experiments on it, and if we do our daily life things on it, we will get a particular result. As we day to day, many scientist inventions are going on, by which the impossible things are also converted into possible things. And he also explained that the subjects history and economics also are not it is not depend upon the science, but some of the human behavior or human nature of being to the behavior to the other.
Okay, sir. You must have read about cells and DNA in your science books. Discuss Richard Ebright's work in the light of what you have studied. If you get an opportunity to work like Richard Ebright on projects and experiments, which field would you like to work on and why? Answer. We know that by the process of gradual and continuous change, living organisms have evolved. After a number of experiments, scientists have established that genes are segments of DNA. This DNA carries genetic information from generation to generation. Richard Ebright worked on his basis. He raised a flock of butterflies and raised the eggs of female monarch. He studies the various stages of female monarch. He further studied the cause of the viral disease that killed all monarch caterpillars. Next, he tried to find similarities between viceroy butterflies and monarchs. Study of insect hormone further give a new theory of life of cells. They found the hormone behind butterflies' full development. Thus, all these experiments led him to form a theory that cells grew from a monarch wings. The cell would divide and grow in a normal butterfly if they were feed into a hormone from the gold spots. Thus, he proved a new cell theory which formed the blueprint of DNA. If I am given a chance, I would like to work in the sphere of stem cell, which has a very wide range and would be great keep for the future. In the question, it is described that how we should study about the things and whether anybody had read about the DNA in your science book and what would you do if you get an opportunity like Richard Ebright to work on this DNA. Then in an answer describes that DNA is a very rare and very important subject and to find this and to work on it we need to do many experiments and in many things to prove it, but the reading is not only the hence possibility for doing this experiment. We should know the processes and the things behind the DNA and we should particularly know that this DNA is from heredity position. That means from it is going on from generation to generation. And if we will get chance like Richard Ebright, we will just discuss about Richard Ebright. Richard Ebright worked on his genetic. All these experiments made him to study on that monarch viral diseases and then his experiments led that butterfly to grow into a normal butterfly and thus he proved that new cell theory from experiments as which are formed due to the blueprint of DNA. But if I given a chance, I would like to work with the experiment of sphere of stem cell and I would provide it for the future.
Yeah, it's the last two sentences. Two sentences. Your own choice. If you want to study the sphere of stem cell or any characters of the stem, any other characters of the stem, is your wish to study. You also writing your answer in even board exam. You can give your own thoughts also, your own thoughts regarding different as Richard Everett says, in his view about the heredity, regarding the heredity, how the butterfly's marks will be, dies and continues its formation. That's very important for everyone. Why this is which you cannot forget. Once if you have a reading and explanation of the question and answer, you will not forget. You will not forget the listening and really attentively showing interest. That's what this exercise is meant. Is it audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Very clear.
sir.
Very
Yeah.
clear, sir.
Very useful.
Good. Question by question will be coming. First, a question properly. Akshay,
Sir.
read first and second questions and answer explain
Yes, sir. Answers also, sir.
answers also.
Okay, sir. A baker from Goa. Oral comprehension check one. First question. What are the elders in Goa nostalgic about? Answer. The elders in Goa were heard reminiscing not nostalgically about the good old Portuguese days and their famous loaves of bread. Second question. Is bread making still popular in Goa? How do you know? Answer. The author mentioned that the eaters of the famous bread loaves might have vanished, but the makers were still there. He mentions the old time tested furnaces existed and their fire had still not existed, extinguished. Hence, he can say the bread making is still popular in Goa. First question, sir, I should explain, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. First question. The question is that what are the elders in Goa nostalgic about? So he was telling that we should describe about elders in Goa. So the answer is the elders in Goa were heard reminiscing nostalgically about the good old Portuguese days and their famous loaves of bread. So in this answer, they are explaining that it was a past old Portuguese days. In that days, the loaves of bread was very famous, and all used to love that bread. And it is a very nostalgically about the old Portuguese days. The elders used to make the loaves of bread and they used to sell it. Second question. Is bread making still popular in Goa? How do you know? The question is they are asking that is the bread making was still popular in Goa and how do you know? So the answer is the author mentioned that the eaters of famous bread loaves might have vanished, but the makers were still there. In this sentence, the author is telling that the famous bread loaves, we know that in that old Portuguese days, the bread loaves was very famous in the days. So the so nowadays, is it still popular? The question is that. So first the first question we should answer that eaters eaters of the famous bread loaves might have vanished. The eaters were vanished, but the makers was still there. So in this line, in this second question only, we have two questions. So second question is, how do you know? He's asking that how do you know? We should mention. So the answer is, he mentions that age old time tested furnaces existed and their fire had still not extinguished. In this sentence, the age old time was furnaces, but uh, if we do any cook, their fire will be extinguished. So he is explaining like in that way. So hence we can say that bread making is still popular in Goa. Yeah, bread make, actually it is right. Bread making is very popular in Goa, but no buyers are coming at because the technology was improved in nowadays. We got pizzas, burgers, etc. So they lived loaves of bread. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. It is nothing else, but it is keeping in a traditional custom that having a bread, bread famous in European countries. So most of the having a there tourism to India and Goa. That's what it is earlier when Portuguese, Greek, and Dutch people, even British, when they invaded to Goa, they used to have only bread. That is what it is a traditional thing. That's what Goa people keep up with tradition to feed them with bread, loaves of bread. That's important.
Yes, sir.
Now, Tarun, third and fourth. Tarun.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Third question. What is the beaker called? The bakers are known as pader in Go. Fourth question. When would the beaker come every day? Why did the children run to meet him? The answer. The author said that the beaker used to be their friend, companion, and guide. The beaker came at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his sailing round, and again when he returned after emptying his huge bucket. The jingling third of his bamboo worked as an alarm for children. They ran to meet him and greet him, not because of their love of the loft, which was bought by the maid servant of the house. They actually longed for the bread bangles, which they chose carefully. Sometimes it was a sweet bread of special make. So here third question is simply what is baker called? So bakers are known as pader in Goa. That is there is nothing to explain actually. And fourth question, when would the beaker come every day? So when the beaker would come every day means he used to come twice a day, and he used to brought a special making cakes when he's coming at early morning or morning with a huge bucket, and the all breads used to sell, and the children used to run by hearing the jingling sound, and they used to run to greet him and to meet him. So it was the situation there, and so actually the children used to go and run away to meet him. And sir, sir, slides are changing, sir. Ah. Okay, sir. Here, second question I left, sir, so that and children used to
Okay.
run and greet him. Uh, so he used to also bring the special cakes or special breads, which was very sweety, kindy, or special made by our maid servant of the house. So the children used to run him, not with their love of loaf. They used to run with a special made of cakes. That's it, sir.
Kaushik Reddy, now only I think.
Sir, completed.
Completed. Anybody wants to explain further information? Voice, is it understandable?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir, it is understandable.
Now, Karan,
Yes,
Karan,
sir. Yes, sir.
there are the three questions are there.
Yes, sir. And first talk about it.
Read first question and first answer.
Children everywhere wonder about the world around them. The questions they ask are the beginning of scientific inquiry. Given below are some questions that children in India have asked Professor Yashpal and Dr. Rahul Pal as reported in their book Discovered Question. First question: what is DNA fingerprinting? What are its uses? Answer: DNA carries genetic information to each living thing. DNA is inherited from first. Yes. DNA is inherited from parents. DNA fingerprinting is important in forensic department. Even from a single hair or nail or a drop of blood, DNA can help us to find out the true culprit. Sir, should I explain, sir?
Yeah. Second question.
They are asking why is DNA fingerprinting important. He is telling that DNA is a component of each living thing. It is passed from parents to their children, and even a single hair, nail, or drop of blood can help us can help the forensic department to find who is the real culprit of the crime or whatever they are finding.
Yeah, it is very, very important for 2 marks question. It is very, very important. Dheeraj, 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 your voice is not heard. Dhoni, Dhoni,
Sir, can I call him? Dheeraj.
Sir,
yeah, yeah.
sir.
Explain, yeah. Next, Dheeraj is unable to. Ram Avatar. Ram Avatar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, continue, sir.
Yes, yes, continue.
Children everywhere wonder about the world around them. The question they ask are, sir, what is the last word, sir? The, sir. Ask are the beginning of scientific inquiry. Given below are some questions that children in India have asked Professor Yashpal and Dr. Rahul Pal as reported in their book Discovered Questions. What is DNA fingerprinting? What are its uses? How do honeybees identify their own honeycombs? Why does rainfall fall in drops? First answer, DNA carries genetic information to each living thing. DNA is inherited from bearer. DNA fingerprinting is important in forensic department. Even from a single hair or nail or a drop of blood, DNA can help us to find out the true culprit. Second answer, honeybees appear to have a good memory. They try to find through a clever dance language. The dance indicates the direction and the distance of the food source. Thus, they have a well developed direction finding mechanism and a way of reckoning distance. Third answer, rain is formed as a result of condensation of vapor when air is cooled below the dew point. The raindrops start out as tiny water droplet and go on the way they collect moisture. The tiny droplet changes into bigger water droplets and fall on the ground as drops.
Completed, Ram Avatar?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I say?
Who's that?
Dheeraj.
Dheeraj. Okay, Dheeraj, read these questions. Dheeraj, read these two questions.
Where were the monthly accounts of
Did you
the
get?
hello?
Carry on, Dheeraj. It is audible.
Where were the monthly accounts of the baker recorded? The bakers usually collected the bills at the end of the month. The monthly accounts of the baker were recorded on some wall in pencil. It was profitable profession in the old days. What does a jackfruit-like appearance mean? The plump physique was referred as a jackfruit-like appearance. This physique was linked to the bakers because they never starved. Baking was a profitable profession back then. The baker, his family, and his servants always looked happy and prosperous and had a jackfruit-like appearance.
You have to explain. Dheeraj, you have to explain the question and answer.
The bakers usually collected the bills. The bakers
collected the bills after every month. The also the records of the records of the bakers' monthly accounts were recorded on some wall of in by pencil, and it was so profitable profession in the olden days. Sir, what is meant by physics, sir? Here,
Manual work, manual.
a jackfruit like appearance means uh, the plump physique, and that physique was linked to the bakers because they never starved, and the family of bakers and his servants were always happy with the profession, and had a prosperous jackfruit like appearance.
Yeah, it is means a manual container. Manual container is used to make of bread in next current completed, no?
Yes,
Co-
sir.
Completed, sir.
No, sir. Sarvesh,
Yes, sir.
are you ready? Sarvesh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, carry on. Only 3 minutes more.
Sir, please using the net feed, sir.
Yes.
Where is Korg? Korg. Korg is situated in the midway between Mysore and coastal town of Mangalore. It is the paradise on the earth. There are many stories about Kodavu people's descent. One of the stories tells that the fiercely independent people of Kodavu are of Greek or Arabic origin. It is said that a part of Alexander's army men moved to south and settled there. Their costume, martial practices, and marriage rituals also point to fact that they are from Arabic origin. Sir, completely. Sir.
Surya, Madam Surya.